Alright, welcome back, y'all. I'm not all sure what I'm gonna put in this video. It's probably just gonna be little random things. But I figured I'll just keep recording all the little stuff that I do that I don't tell anybody about. But right now, obviously I had to cut this out for the turbo, and it took a lot of structural virginity out. But I had this 3/8, oh, there goes my helmet, 3/8 round stock that I bent it this way to that contour, and I just left it straight over here. It doesn't really matter, but basically I tacked that in place, and already it's put a lot back in it, and the hood closes perfect now. I don't want to snap it because I don't feel like walking over there to pop it, but it closes perfect. And see, it's got a little bit of give to it still, which I don't really know how much was there to begin with. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the turbo back in there because it's got a good bit of room off of it. And I'm going to put this back in here, and I'm going to mark it and kind of cut it to the shape of the turbo for the most part, just to add a little bit more structure in this area, because the turbo ends up right there. I really just, that part right there by the latch, I want to get that back in there, and then I'll weld it to that bar. Hopefully whatever's left in there will help it out some more. So I'm gonna stick it in there. Oh, my finger, whoops, gotta get used to recording with my phone. I'm gonna stick it in there and see how it ends up. So I'll show you what I did here in a second. You know, I swear, if it's something stupid I don't care about, it ends up welding just fine. What? I mean, that's cool, but like, you know, things that are really important, like the exhaust wants to blow holes through it the whole time, but whatever. So, I mean, that turns out pretty well, though. I'm gonna wait for it to cool down. I'm bend this in place or whatever, but it already seems a lot more structurally sound. It's got a little bit of give to it, but honestly, it was probably there before. I've just never really paid attention. As long as the hood closes and it keeps it from flying up 150 miles an hour, I'm good with it. So I'm gonna take my flap disc to this and clean it up real nice and throw a coat of paint on it, and I'll let you see what it looks like as soon as I'm done with that. I mean, it's like I never cut that piece out. It turned out pretty well. I'm not good at body work and making stuff look good. It looks halfway decent though. It really, honestly, with the paint on there, you can't even really tell that the whole piece was cut out and it wasn't just notched, but it fits in there pretty well. It's not a perfect angle right there. There was a hole in there, and I kind of just cut along it, and it looked kind of stupid. It put it at it, so I went down a little bit, but you know what? It really isn't that big of a deal. I don't think people are really going to stare at that one section too much, but I think it turned out pretty well. And the best part is, well, obviously, you know, it's got some structure to it. It helps a little bit with this bolted in, not a big deal. I never paid attention to how strong that was to begin with. I've stood on it and stuff, but who knows really. But this is the best part right here. Whoop, let's just, boom, that's perfect. So I'm cool with that. Well, I fixed the booger weld back there. Honestly, it didn't look good before, but it penetrated pretty well because it was a bitch cutting it off. But I went really wide with that. It looks kind of weird, but peace of mind, I guess. I need to make sure there's no leaks in the exhaust, but I'm gonna probably fire it real quick just to blow everything out that's in there, and hopefully if it does have a leak, I'll see some soot or something like that. But I went ahead and put the new manifold gaskets on and got all those bolts tightened down, or well, all of the bolts in there. So I'll probably spin it over without firing it, and then fire it off and just see what happens. I'm imagining it's going to be super loud, so I'm not going to run it very long, but that's probably the next thing I'm about to do. Alright, let's see what happens. that's fucking loud. Sounds good though. Sweet. Alright, see a whole bunch of stuff blow out. That was pretty cool though. Hell yeah. Wow, that sounded good. I don't know why in my head I was like, thought I was hearing the whistle for a second. Maybe I'm just too excited. But that sounded pretty good. Man, I think it's gonna sound good with the fender exit. I kind of like that. Well, that's cool. The car still runs, which is awesome. I mean, I don't know why it wouldn't, but you know, you never know. It idled all right though. Obviously that throttle blade was bent, so I haven't messed with the idle screw, and I need to mess with the tune a little bit still because it doesn't really it's not running right when you hit the throttle while it's cold. So I was playing with that before I started taking this apart, but I need to go in there and make a few changes still. But well, that's cool. So all right, that's another thing checked off the list. I don't think I ran it long enough to see if there was any you know, soot showing up. I'm probably just gonna have to get it going and then run it for a bit. There's going to be leaks. I can already see that those V-bands aren't lining up right. It's gonna be a headache. Oh, whoops, I'm pointing at that one right now, but I'm gonna have to figure that out once we get to that part. So it's about probably all I'm gonna do for today. In a second here though, I'm going to show you one more thing, and I'll just throw this video together and it'll just be like a little progress update deal. Well, now we're into the back of the car, and I realized that there's a bunch of other things that I haven't posted about that I should probably update on. Another one is I got beefy axles. I've actually had them for like a year now, and luckily it's the same set. I hate to say that, knock on wood, but I mean, so far they survived me snapping an ear off of the aluminum housing that I had. So I went with an iron housing, and I welded these pedestals in the back here because I feel like that was part of the problem, since it was just a coupler nut here on the back of this, and I just had this big ass washer hanging off the back, and it like bent the washer up and everything when it broke. But I don't know, those two things I feel like helped a lot. I also shattered a Ford track lock carrier, like blew it up in pieces. So now I have a C-clip eliminator Detroit locker, which I didn't realize was C-clip eliminator until I set up the diff and went to stick a stub in, and it didn't lock in, and I was like, fuck. So I took it back apart, and I took the side pieces, side gears, whatever you want to call them, they're not actually gears. I put them on the lathe, and I cut a channel in them with a die grinder, and it's like it locks the C-clip in. It's perfect. So as far as I know, I'm the only person with a Detroit locker and an IRS pumpkin. I don't know, maybe they make them for IRS, but not that I've seen. But it's in there, and it's extremely aggressive, bro. But the reason that I'm back here is everybody keeps asking, how are you gonna fit a radiator up there? Where's the radiator gonna go? It's gonna go back here. And what I did was yesterday, actually, I cut these little deals that hang down off, that they just have like the little tow hook deals on them, and a lot of people actually cut them off when they do a bumper cut, which I also did. But what that does is, I probably can't try to measure with one hand, but anyways, this way to this way is 43 inches, I believe, that direction, and I think I have like 26 or something. Yeah, about 26 inches from the subframe to the rear bumper, which, I mean, I can come out to here, I can let it hang, it really doesn't matter. I got a crash bar on here that I put on, and as long as, you know, it's above the diff, that's all that matters. But regardless, I'm going to bring it from, I don't know, somewhere around here. It's going to be on like a light incline, and it just from there to there. That's the plan. And then I've got this high pressure PVC hose that I plan on running from the front to the back here. And I don't know, I haven't figured out which radiator I'm going to use yet, but I have the option to use a bigger radiator, and I'm going to figure that out Monday probably. But yeah, so basically I'm just gonna connect it with a hose for now, because A inline dash 16 is really expensive, and I'm trying not to dump that much more money into this. I kind of want to just get it up and running. If I have to upgrade it later, I'll go that route. But I guess I'm just gonna end this as a little update progress video. And as always, I appreciate your watch. Oh, wait. I should have put this at the beginning of the video. I got merch now. So check out the description and go to MiataKhalifa.com. I got shirts and hoodies and stickers and stuff on there. So it would really help me out. I don't make hardly anything off it. It's literally pennies on the dollar. It's all drop ship stuff. But anything helps. You know, it all adds up, and I wouldn't mind getting a little bit of money back on what I've spent on this so far. But with that being said, as always, I appreciate your watching. Thanks for subscribing. We'll see you in the next one. Later, y'all.